What's up, guys? This is Javier Ortega. We're going to give people a couple of minutes to log on. We're here at Huffy Talk. So I hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, we're going to give people a few minutes. And, we're just hanging out, living the life right here in beautiful New Jersey. Finally, no rain. Sound off in the comments where you guys are watching from. So how we looking, bro? So again, thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank Huffy Talk, thank Frank Downstar for it's humbling that he reached out to me and wanted me to be on Huffy Talk. It is an honor for me to be here talking in front of you guys. My name is Javier Ortega, and the founder and director of OGS 1320, a company that specializes in motorsports event, especially the import market, or marquee event is obviously H-Day. So I guess I start by introducing myself. Who is Javier Ortega? I'm Javier Ortega. I'm a Colombian American immigrant. Got here in 1986 when I was 18 years old, and my passion for cars have always preceded me. I've been into cars since I could remember. And, I came here and I actually got to be able to buy car magazines as they came out and got really into it. When I was able to buy a car, hey, I bought a car and I started enjoying them and got really into cars. But before I could own a car, there was a movement. There was street races were going on, and I couldn't afford cars. So guess what? What I used to do was I used to take the bus to the street races and hope to catch a ride on the way back. So, as I made more money, I used to take a cab and stuff like that, but I really wanted to be part of the car scene. As I made more money, then I bought a car and I went to the street races, and I got to meet more people that were interested in the same things that I was interested on. And
what was your first car?
What was my first car? At that time, I think it was an 84 Celica GTS. That was my first car. Right after that, my next car was an 88 CRX. And from there, the love affair began with more Hondas. More Hondas than I can remember, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with that 84 Celica GTS, my first rear-wheel drive car, 22 RE, headers, exhaust, all types of things, tires, suspension, everything. So I had fun with it. It was fun, but I wasn't too into rear-wheel drive. So once the CRX came into the picture, I really enjoyed it. And at that time, they used to road race CRXs and stuff like that. So it was really awesome to have a really nimble car that handled well and that I could enjoy, So then I got the idea of, wow, wouldn't this be great to see all these people that hang out at the street races? Wouldn't it be great to see them at the track? And I didn't really get the idea of I could make money out of this. No, I just wanted to see it in an organized way, because it used to get really dangerous and crashes and people drinking and stuff like that. So I really didn't think of it as a business. I just thought of it as being able to see something that I greatly enjoy in a peaceful place, that being a controlled environment, the track. So at that time, it was such a long time ago that there was no web pages, no internet, nothing like that. You had to like look up the number on the phone book and find some sort of way to find the contact number. And I found the contact number for English Town through a magazine. And I call and I say, oh, can I speak to the owner? Lo and behold, they put the owner on, and I said, hey, I think there's a thing going on the street that I think it would be great at your track. And he heard me out and he said, okay, well, I'll think about it. Never heard from the guy, for reasons that I didn't know at that time. Then 2 years later, I get a phone call, and he's the owner of English Town. Hey, remember that event you mentioned? I'm gonna do it. You mind if I send you some flyers? Absolutely not. Yeah, I'll send you 2 free tickets. He sent me some flyers. I started passing them out. This was 1996. Start passing them out. And hey, before you know, I ran out of flyers. I told him, hey, could you send me more flyers? You're not throwing them out in the garbage, right? He says. And I'm like, nah, man, just people are interested. I passed them out again. The day of the event comes, and he gets 7,800 people at the place. And he was so ecstatic and so happy. He's like, I gotta give you something. And I'm like, nah, man, you gave me 2 free tickets to the event. No, I gotta give you something. I haven't had this happen ever. So he gave me something, and I went on my merry way. I was happy. He was happy, and I got home, and I'm like, this would be great to really see it again. And I called him. I said, I got a couple of ideas. And then from there, we started our relationship. That was Mr. Vince Knapp. He became my mentor. He taught me everything I know in this business. And we started a successful business relationship that went beyond that. He really became like my second father and guided me through a lot of things in life and educated me on a lot of things that I didn't know how to handle in life, and really taught me the business. So that's how Javier Ortega started in the motorsports business.
Somebody said, what was the name of that first event?
Actually, the name of that first event was SummerSlam. It was the Import and Lowrider SummerSlam. I think I might have a flyer or a t-shirt from it.
That's Pet says, what was the hardest part of coming up in the scene and your business?
The hardest part, when and I hate to sound cliche, really nothing was very hard. When you really love something, or when you really want something in life, challenges become meaningless. Meaningless things that, they just come in front of you, and if you have your heart set on it or your mind set on it, you just find a way and get through them. But I think the hardest part to get used to in this scene or this business was not, the fact that you have to realize that no matter how hard you work, when you're holding an outdoor event, the possibility of inclement weather is there, bad, the sun won't come out, rain, whatever, and you could lose everything, not just money, but the time, the effort that you put in and all that. Getting used to that, getting accustomed to that, or to be able to live with that was a process, and I know it's been a process for many people. It is a tough thing, but you know what? While it took me a very long time, now I live life in a way that focus on the things that you could change and accept the things that you can change, and nobody can change Mother Nature. That's what we have to deal with, and that's what it is. So we focus on, hey, we couldn't make this happen, but we're going to be able to make this happen. And we keep it moving forward.
How did you start Honda Day, now H Day?
How did I start Honda Day? Honda Day started, the main reason was my love for Hondas, right? That's the main reason. But when you love something, then those people around you tend to love it. So a lot of my friends were into Hondas. They grew up with Hondas. They love Hondas. So it's like, damn, it'd be so great to have an event that is just Hondas and Acuras. And here's the funny thing, and I'm a betting guy, so I'm willing to say that a large portion of the people here watching right now are Honda and Acura owners. What you guys have to realize is, I'm gonna date myself a little bit right now, right? I'm a little older than you guys, or a lot for some, right? But owning a Honda a very long time ago wasn't as popular as owning a Honda now. So we were sort of the outcasts, where now owning a Honda is the cool thing. Before it's like, oh, you guys with the Hondas. Now, so imagine that. So we wanted our own thing, our own day, our own time to get together. And it started very small, 1,200, 1,500 people. And it grew from there. And then it's, so how do you host that and host something in a way that you give something back to the community? Well, you give away a car. So I started putting together a car with my friends and with businesses that wanted to be part of it and stuff like that. And we gave it to one lucky winner, and it was just a lucky winner at the event. No additional fees, no nothing. It wasn't a plot to anything. But it became very popular, and it also provided my friends and I with an outlet or with an opportunity to get together once again, work on a car, see it come together, and then be able to give it away to somebody that, always wanted a car like that. And how did it go now to H Day? That's a long, complicated story, but let's just say, at some point, the name Honda Day became too large, and there were issues that I can't really go into that prompted us to legally have to change the name to the name that is trademarked now, or we own the registered trademark for H Day.
What year was your first H Day, and what car was the first giveaway car?
The third, the first H Day was in 2002, like the first organized H Day. I don't believe we gave away a car that year, though, as that was the initial idea of the event. But I don't believe we gave away a car that year.
What was the first giveaway car?
The first giveaway car it was an EG. It was a blue EG that I went all the way to Pennsylvania to pick up for like $600. And I tell you, it was an experience, because the car almost didn't even make it all the way to the track because he had a blown head gasket. But I remember my friend Dave took me to a guy, introduced me to a guy that is probably not in business anymore because he was old at that time. and the guy did the body work and all that. So we gave away a pretty nice car at that time, I remember. And he had sport mounts at that time. Got me to this point, one of them being meeting my mentor and having him guide me and educate me into how to better deal with certain things and how to run events in a proper manner, how to do things better, how to take care of the customers, etc. But those are the type of experiences that made me who I am today.
Which was your favorite giveaway car?
Wow, that's a tough question, believe it or not, because there have been many great giveaway cars, and I think obviously one of my favorites is the last giveaway car, which is the yellow EG, which was my car. Another great giveaway car, we made a DC5 art style car. That was an awesome car. And one car that whenever I look at it, I can't get over it was the J Series coupe that we gave away with the DC2 front. That car, we really went above and beyond, and it's got like incredible stuff. That's honestly one of my all-time favorites.
So many people on here want to know your opinion with English Town.
You know, my opinion with English Town regarding what they did with the drag strip, I'm assuming the question. That's the exact question? I think the easiest way to summarize that is, you know, really you can make a judgment on other people until you walk in their shoes. And I will say this, you know, desperate people do desperate things, right? And, you know, while we could sit here, oh, I would have done this, or I would have done that, or I would have done that. I myself don't own the facility, right? So I don't know what I would have done given the situation, but I do know that I love the place and I love the sport of drag racing and I love what I do. So I doubt that would have been my choice, but I'm not them. You know what I mean? I'm not them, and I don't have ownership of the place, so I can't dictate what goes on or what doesn't. You know, it was definitely a tough thing for me. It took a toll on me personally, mentally, and I will go as far as saying, you know, for those of you that don't know, I spent 3 months in the hospital almost dying to come out of that, and they get this mental blow, you know, thrown on you, and hey, by the way, we don't drag race anymore. That was shocking, and I felt like, you know, like I felt like something was ripped out of me, right? And it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good at all. It felt like something was taken away, right? But if I take the words of great people that are around me, they have always told me, things happen for a reason. And my friend's father said, things happen for a good reason. And I will tell you something. It's definitely a shitty thing that happened for all of us. But now I look at it as a blessing because it has allowed me to start looking at life, at the sport in a different way, at my business in a different way. It has allowed me to get more creative and look at other possible venues and possible stuff. Yeah, it sucks being a local guy and wanting to test your car and not having a place to do it within 15 to 20 minutes. But like I said, we can't control what other people do, and that's on every facet of life. We could only control ourselves and how we move forward.
What advice can you give someone wanting to start their own business?
The biggest advice that I could give someone that want to start their own business is A, believe in yourself. B, have patience because things do not happen overnight. You know, and the last but not least, don't get into a business just based on, oh, I'm gonna do that because it makes money. If you don't like it, don't do it. Because making money is the easy part. But waking up and hating your life every day because you hate what you do, trust me, it's not worth any type of money that you could make. You gotta love what you do. If you don't love it, it'll make your life miserable. And if it makes your life miserable, it'll make the life of those around you miserable. So,
was E-Town closing a surprise to you and your staff?
To say it was a surprise, it would be an understatement because I basically found out 5 minutes before everybody else. I felt, when that happened, I felt like Kevin Hart was looking at me laughing like, you weren't ready, and I wasn't, you know, and it really taught me a lesson. You know, we look at older people, and, you know, of course I'm older than most of the people that are watching now, but we look at older people and what they say as, what do you know? Oh, this, that, you know? When somebody tells you, save for a rainy day, they know what they're talking about. So if you're watching right now, right? And you get 100% of your income, right? It's your job to manage that. If you're not saving at least 25% of it, trust me when I tell you, you're not ready for a rainy day. And thankfully, without knowing, I wasn't mentally or physically ready, but financially, we were kind of ready. And we were able to take that big punch. Not only a punch, Brian, but how would you characterize that? We got a kick in the gut, to be polite. And we were able to endure it, but it wasn't pretty. It was tough, it was stressful. But my advice to everybody that is in business, you know, keep your safety net, keep your insurance fund for those tough days, because those tough days come sometimes. And then if you're prepared for it, the stress level don't have to go over here. You'll stay here, and when you're not stressed, you're creative, you're able to do more business, move forward, and move past whatever challenge that is.
What advice would you give to us with kids and trying to push and make our kids interested in cars?
The first thing that I'm going to say is, we're all different people. or kids included. I have two kids, Mauricio and Sofia, and they're both worlds apart. They love each other, great brother and sister, but they like different things. I think if you expose your kid to what you like, he'll let you know if that's something he enjoys. But forcing your kid to like something is never a good idea. Exposing them to why is this fun, why this is cool, why is it, kids nowadays are very smart and they have incredible resources of knowledge. They have an iPad in one hand, they have a phone on another, and they're gonna be able to figure out what they like or what they don't like. But guess what? Meets, car shows, car events are a great family outlets where you could take your kid and spend time with them, right? And if your kid sees that, when I go to these things, I'm spending time with my mommy or with my daddy, and I enjoy it, and I like cars, and they start learning what kind of car is this or that. I think it will be just a matter of time before you get surprised and your kid starts telling you stuff that you don't know about a certain car that is coming out.
Who was or were your role models?
I mean, I have to say Vince Knapp was my mentor and my role model, and he was an incredibly hardworking person, right? And I think that's where I got my work ethic from. Like, when you want something and you want it hard enough, you can't let off. There's no being tired. There's not, I'm hungry. There's no, I don't feel like it. There's not, I'm mad about it and I'm not gonna do it. No, you're gonna do it because you want to see it come through, because you want to succeed. There's no like looking at dollar signs inside your head. That doesn't work. You gotta visualize the goal, want it, and go for it.
What is your opinion on all these rumors that other companies are going to be buying Englishtown and opening up the drag strip again, like Jegs or private race teams? Many people are asking this.
Many people are asking that. I would say this. I have no knowledge of that. What I do have knowledge of, I will tell you that the price tag would be pretty high, although not high for a person like Bruton Smith or a company of that caliber, right? Where they're buying $100 million tracks and stuff like that. Can somebody do it? There's plenty of people with money. Is it the right scenario? Is it an appealing business model? Or does the track have a business deal already with a company? As far as I understand, the track has a deal with a company for the land. So I don't see how legally you could have two deals going at the same time. So the internet is full of fake news. Is that the truth? I don't, I don't own the place. I don't, I'm privileged to the things that are communicated to me towards the business that we still do together, but nothing beyond that, to be honest.
Now that H-Day, what was your expectation before the event and what are your thoughts after?
Well, let's say this. The way I look at events is I visualize events the way I want to see them come through. So I knew a couple of things. MIR has always been a world-class facility. They love their track. They work hard at their track. They prep the hell out of their track. So I knew I was going to a top-notch facility. I knew that our H-Day fans are super hardcore. I also knew that there were a lot of negative feedback online, like, oh, too far, I'm not gonna drive, and this and that. But the reality of it, right, is that we live in a country of 350 million people. And we were going to a different demographic area with a lot of people that are like Hondas and Acuras in that area. So I knew that we could be successful and had a successful event, but that we needed good weather. What I didn't know is that even with inclement weather, with the snow on Saturday, we will have almost 5,000 people. That's what I didn't know. So the only thing I could say is I'm thankful, and I love our fans. I hope that they know how much I love them by how hard we go at the events and how much we put into the events. And I think they just showed us they love us back, you know, as cheesy as that might sound, you know. It feels good to know that people appreciate what you do.
Where do you want to see the scene go? What do you want to see that you don't see anymore?
Where do I want to see the scene going? I think the status of the scene is a byproduct of where we're at right now, right? What I want to see more is education. People learning the difference between part A and part B, and where is this part make, and why does this part work this way, and why this brand is here and that brand is over there. Education. I want to see people that know better teach other people or pass on their knowledge to other people. Not just let somebody make a mistake purchasing something and make fun of them behind their back because, oh, I'm cool, but he's not, and he doesn't know it. Nah, you know, teach the other people coming up why certain parts are important and why some brands are not good and why other brands are better without prejudice. Don't say a brand is not good just because you don't like the person who owns it. No, a product is good regardless of who owns the company. But we need to be able to share our knowledge as we share our passion for cars and stuff like that.
What do you think about the next H-Day event?
I mean, judging from the first one, I think the next one is going to be awesome. I think we have some great ideas. We got some great feedback. The track as well as ourselves, we learned new things about the track. We're making some adjustments. We got some additions. I think we're getting ready to give, another incredible event to our H-Day fans.
When is it?
September 15th and 16th at Maryland International Raceway. For more info, of course, go to gohday.com. And obviously you guys are following us on Instagram, but we put a lot of content on Facebook, so hopefully you guys could check that out too. And, again, I can't thank Huffy Talk enough for having me here speaking to you guys, and hopefully this gives you some insight about who Javier Ortega is, because there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of people that know that I'm just a regular guy. I'm just a nice guy. But there's a lot of misconceptions of people making rumors and stuff like that. And I have heard people say from things like that I worship the devil to ridiculous things to where, and the truth is that, hey, I was raised a Catholic. I'm a Catholic. But I went to Presbyterian school. I could respect all religions. I have no prejudice towards people in regards to religion or politics. I don't get involved in politics. I try to mind my own business. I try to support people's events when I have time, when my family life permits and my work life permits. I have nothing against other people having events, as long as they don't take the names of my events or the classes. For those of you that raised the sport front-wheel drive class, if I don't say this, Ralphie, my grandfather, would be upset at me, but yes, I created the sport front-wheel drive class, and OGS 1320 actually owns the trademark of sport front-wheel drive, and that class was an evolution of Class B at the Import Survival Series, an event that I started in 1996. And those who date back in the scene to that time, Tim Gray used to run the hybrid class at that time, the H, Class H, which was like EGs with B-series motors and stuff like that. So I have a long-standing history with drag racing and import cars. Therefore, my knowledge is a little bit extensive compared to the people that doubt it. But yeah, like I said, I'm just a regular guy that loves cars, that love making people happy, doing events. If you ever have a question about me, DM me. I'll be glad to answer. You know what I mean? Don't hesitate. There's a lot of speculation out there about who Javier Ortega is. I think I was pretty honest on saying who I am and what do. I get up in the morning, I don't think about anybody else other than my kids or what I want to accomplish this very same day. I don't think about wishing bad on anybody. I think about what do I want to accomplish? What's my goal for the day?
Let's talk all-wheel drive class.
That's a great topic. If you guys watch the H-Day videos, I've been saying it all along, soon enough you will see a Honda all-wheel drive class. Why? Because the evolution of those cars will require a class for them. And I'm going to tell you something. Yes, all these, I'm so excited about all these all-wheel drive projects, but you could even ask Steve CLN that I had an all-wheel drive project going maybe 5 years ago. Unfortunately, it never materialized, but I love the concept of Honda all-wheel drive. And guess what? I own one now. The GOAT is back there. He drove 6,000 miles, 3,000 miles in 48 hours. I mean, it's a Honda.
Not 48 hours.
Yes, I did. I got to California in 48 hours. Straight.
So, how soon can the fans expect to see an all-wheel drive class?
As soon as we got eight cars that could enter competition, that we'll have a class.
I think we have more than 8 people asking for you to talk about the all-motor class, its current state and how it's evolved.
You know, that's a topic very dear to my heart. You know, the all-motor class have come a long way, and I give credit to the people that have stuck with it for the longest, you know. So, and I will also give credit to the people that have been a team player to get the numbers up, you know. And, you know, there's a lot of other people building cars for the all-motor class. So the all-motor class went through peaks and valleys. And I think we have a very good set of rules. I think we have some new competitors that are definitely more than worth watching. I believe that we will have over 16 cars in September 15 and 16 at the H-Day Fall event. And I'm very happy and excited with that class. I think the future of the class is bright. At some point it was very scary to see the class dwindling. But you know, thanks to companies like Ford Piston, K-Tune, thanks to the other engine builders that are supporting cars out there, and thanks to tuners, you know, there is more cars being built, you know, and more competitors that are gonna come out. And the great thing about it is now they got good trannies that are quote unquote affordable, and they have combinations that they could buy at an affordable price. So hopefully I answered the question.
Somebody here mentioned DRT. You didn't mention that as that was part of your career path in motorsports. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, of course. DRT wasn't part of my event. That's why I didn't mention it, but yes. DRT was a shop that I opened with Rafael Estives back in 1998. And you know, we have fun. We have fun with that shop. We built the East Coast fastest Honda at that time. You know, I use the word we like I have a mouse on my pocket, because Ralphie was really more the hands-on guy and the guy that tuned it, built the motor and all that. So, and for those of you guys that don't know, this is gonna enlightening story. You know, if you go back to a Vibe magazine story written called Racer X, it was based on Ralphie. The character Dominic Toretto from Fast and the Furious 1 was based on Rafael Estives, who was my partner at DRT. And he still has the DRT shop now in South Amboy. But yeah, that was part of my experience on motorsports.
Talk about that a little bit, about Fast and Furious and your involvement with the story behind the script of the original Fast and Furious.
You know, when I got into this, like I said, when I bought a car, when I bought my Honda, then I had, you know, I wanted to hang out with other Honda people. So I was going to Queens College, and after I would get out of class, I would go and hang out in an area at a store called Eastern Autosports. right on the side of the LIE. And there I met a guy, Ken Lee. I almost forgot his name. He was working at that time for the Daily News. And he was writing a story about import cars and all this. And hey, we started hanging out and he wrote the story. We became friends, and then he came to me one day, he goes, what my life dream is right now? Is to write a story for Vibe magazine. And I'm like, Vibe magazine? Isn't that a hip-hop magazine? Yeah, but they only take respected articles. I'm like, oh, okay, what do you want to write about? Oh, street racing. Here's a guy that knew nothing about street racing, this guy Ken. So I'm like, okay, so I'll take you around. So I started taking him to the street races, and he goes, well, okay, I need a character. No problem. So I introduced him to a guy that I knew that was winning a lot of races and stuff like that, but didn't speak English, so he couldn't communicate with Ken. And then one day we're out there, and the guy that I knew gets beat by Ralphie. And I started talking to Ralphie, and I said, oh, these guys speak perfect English, Ken. This guy might be your guy. And we befriended Ralphie, and our friendship started. We opened the business, and the story kept building up. As Ralphie and I would hang out and go to the street races and stuff like that, Ken would go with us, and he would keep writing his story. The story took 2 years. When it was published, it was a great story, and then all of a sudden, he brings some Hollywood people to the shop, and he's like, okay, oh yeah, they want to talk to you guys. And they talk to us, but nothing ever happened. We don't hear anything, and then all of a sudden we hear that the movie comes out, and it's exactly has some things that happen in real life, and has a statement that belongs to Ralphie. Like when he says, "I live my life a quarter mile at a time," that's actually Ralphie's quote. But the funny thing is, we never got a call back because they hired a guy by the name of Craig Liverman, famous for that Motec exhaust statement. So we were out of the picture. And here we are, but hey, you know what? That's the past and this is the present. But we don't use Motec exhaust though on our cars.
Why? For anyone watching this that has no idea why that's a joke.
You want me to answer the question?
Yeah, because there's people watching this that believe there's Motec exhaust.
Because Motec doesn't make exhaust; they make electronic. They make some of the best engine management computers that you could have, right? An exhaust at that time, you would buy an HKS, an Apex C, obviously a Grady exhaust, but not a Motec exhaust.
Whose fault was that for them saying that line in the movie?
Their automotive technical advisor. So, but hey, that's what it is. Sometimes stuff like that happens.
Will H-Day be at Maryland International Raceway in 2019?
You know what? Yes. We have a great relationship with Royce Miller and Jason and his brother Chris. So, yes. H-Day will be at MIR in 2019. But look out. We're looking to expand the H-Day brand. We're not going to overdo it. We believe in quality rather than quantity. But there might be another H-Day, guys, in your future. There might be 3 H-Days in 2019.
We've got 8 minutes left, guys. So if you got questions, we got 8 minutes left.
Maybe they're tired of listening to me. They got no more questions, right?
Will you be at Ratchet Friday tomorrow?
Of course.
Tell for people watching.
So Rancho Friday is a great event. It's going to happen at a Raceway Park, complete new layout, and we definitely going all out and we got crazy sound coming tomorrow. We're going to deliver an incredible experience, and yes, I agree. There is no drag racing, but guess what? There are car meets that happen every night, and there's no drag racing. We're going to provide a different experience than a regular car meet. And if you've been to Ratchet Friday, you know that the lifestyle is incredible. We go all out, and we just increase our sound budget by a lot. And we got some lights, we got the dancers coming, ladies are free all night, and we're gonna be able to go to almost until 12 midnight. So hey, come out and have some fun, and guess what? The best part of it is only $10. And 15 to show your car, so it's an easy sell.
What other business would you be interested in other than doing events?
I'm currently looking into buying a general auto repair shop with a gas station. I'm interested on getting into that type of auto repair business, and something, not a small place, more of a larger scale place, not a performance place, but a service place that service everyday type of cars for people and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking into.
Will H-Day ever go away?
Not if I could help it. I know, I think we proved that OGS is not dead. For the guy, that's a shout out to the guy that made the meme. There was a lot of speculation. OGS is dead, H-Day is dead. There was another very famous guy that always attacking people that say, H-Day numbers are dwindling down and this and that. I think we could put that thing to bed.
So, I do remember seeing that post, OGS 1320 is dead. Elaborate on that. How you felt when you read that to where you are now.
People love to kick other people when they're down. And I tell you, at that time is when we just got the Raceway Park news and stuff like that. So it was to me, it was equal to, cutting your hand and then somebody throwing salt or lemon on it. Let's make a thing. So I was like, oh yeah, okay. But you know what? I love a challenge. So guess what? Not just myself, but Brian and the rest of the OGS team, we went to work. And our fans say, hell no, OGS is not going away. We're going to be there wherever OGS is going to be. And they were there. So,
over 10,000 of them.
Yes, over 10,000 of them. And the guy who made the meme was probably home.
All right, we got 4 minutes left.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in and watched. Again, it's an honor to be in front of you guys and speaking and being myself and just letting you know how I started, the process that I went through to get here to where we're at. I couldn't have done this without the support of my family, my friends, the other people that are around me that are into cars, and everybody else. And if I have to say, one of the key to life is communication. Don't assume that people should know how you feel about something. You have to communicate to other people how you feel about something. Because if you get upset and you just keep it to yourself, there's no way to solve a problem. But if you communicate about it. You're able to solve the problem and move forward in a positive manner.
Who would you like to see on Huffy Talk this season?
Who would I like to see on Huffy Talk this season? You know what? There's so many people, but listening to him on the 8th Day After movie, my grandfather, Rafael Esteves, that would be a good person to listen to him talk, because that's a guy that got a lot of history. But let's say from the West Coast, a great guy to have would be Stefan Papadakis or Frank from Battle the Imports. Guys that are going to talk about when things started, because I think that Huffy Talk has the potential to be the medium to educate the new generations of Honda enthusiasts or import car enthusiasts into how did we get to this point. So there's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge. Matt Rodriguez, former editor of Honda Tuning, who will be a great guy to listen to here on Huffy Talk, with a lot of knowledge.
Any last words? We got 1 minute left.
Well, thank you. Don't let other people believe in yourself. Don't let other people tell you that you can't do it. Always think that you can do it, and think that you will do it, and you will do it. So believe in yourself, stay positive, and you know what? Don't get hyped on social media likes, because at the end of the day, they mean nothing. What it matters is what is out here and here. Peace out, believe in yourself, and you know why? It's all love.
If they want to follow you?
Follow me at D1320Don. If you want to follow me, I try to keep it positive. So, positive and car oriented, no negativity. Negativity, just get the black on and we keep it moving.
We got 1 minute, 30 seconds on this extra clock right here. Frank, we're going to go a little bit. Bunch of people were talking about road course. Your thoughts on it?
I love the road course. I actually got to drive my NSX at the Raceway Park road course, and I'm going to get the chance to drive the GOAT at the Raceway Park road course on June 10th at the Honda Acura Mega Meet. I'm excited to go to that event because there's a lot of social media pages that are supporting the event, but I'm even more excited at the fact that I'm going to be able to put the GOAT to the test on the road course with my brand new fast brakes setup. And did I mention the car got spoon coilovers? I got lucky. So I'm hoping to also have the NSX there, but I will be driving the GOAT, believe it or not. The NSX, I might put my grandpa to drive it, which, by the way, is a former Dominican Republic road racing champion.
DRT Racing's watching you right now.
Yeah. Hey, Grandpa. So I'm. And you know that.